With the Bahamas still in the throes of what was predicted and has already proven to be an active hurricane season, Deputy Director of Meteorology Jeffrey Simmons is addressing criticisms levied at the Department of Meteorology after Hurricane Irma's impact on the Bahamas overall was less than anticipated. Tonight in Things You Should Know, Cleopatra Murphy tells us he stresses that whatever happened with that storm, Bahamians must always prepare to ensure their own safety during the hurricane season.
And buy all kind of water, all kind of sardine, all kind of tuna, all kind of bread, all kind of plywood, and basil, letting this hurricane come. Boy, listen, this will be listen, anyway, they better get right.
The Department of Meteorology has faced some criticism since the passage of the Category 5 monster that was Hurricane Irma. But Deputy Director of Meteorology Jeffrey Simmons says although some islands were not impacted like they anticipated, Bahamians must always be prepared.
Once summer come along, summer's the time we drink a lot of water. So what's wrong with keeping an extra 10 gallons of water handy around the house? You buy some extra canned food items to keep available. So you don't let a hurricane come and meet you unawares.
Initial projections locally and internationally were unclear of Irma's path, but later led to evacuations in the southeastern Bahamas and fueled warnings of a potential catastrophe. New Providence was under a hurricane watch for a time, but was spared. Simmons says meteorology is not an exact science.
We don't put ourselves out there as gods that we can say exactly what's going to happen. Okay, and we try to sensitize our public that also that, the things we put out there, there are probabilities attached to these things.
Ragged Island was devastated and declared uninhabitable. Bimini and Grand Bahama were ravaged by tornadoes. Simmons says New Providence dodged a bullet, and those bemoaning its lack of impact on the island should thank God.
There are a lot of people whose roofs have not been repaired here in New Providence from Matthew as yet. So imagine what could have happened to those people. Also, being on the outer periphery of a hurricane like that, that's where you will get most of your rain activities, shower activities going on. We had no rain, we didn't even have any rainfall here in New Providence.
At the end of the day, he says food and other supplies Bahamians bought to prepare for the storm can always be used, particularly because the Bahamas has a high risk of being impacted by hurricanes each year. Simmons says Bahamians should not wait until the last minute, especially with current trends.
We had 3 major hurricanes affecting the Bahamas in 3 years. That's not one hurricane, one major hurricane a year for the past 3 years. And that's something that Bahamians really need to pay close attention to, especially with, with the news is already out there that we can see more intense hurricanes as we go into the future.
The meteorologist says hurricane season is not over, so Bahamians should not drop their guards. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.